Hi, I'm John. This is my show, An American Scheme, where I'm proving that Diana Ross is Michael Jackson's actual mother. On this episode, I'm going to show you that Macaulay Culkin is most likely the sperm donor for Paris Jackson. So first thing, when you talk about Michael Jackson having, if you want to talk about him being a pedophile, you're going to have to say that there's a proven sexual history with Michael Jackson in either women or other males that were young when he was younger throughout his life. You can't tell me that Michael Jackson's first sexual experiences are with children. That's just stupid. If that's your proof, it's like that's you doing it, because there's no proof of Michael Jackson having any sexual history. So if you're just going to instantly see Michael Jackson with children and think he's having sex with them, that's your mental problem, you know? So this is a call for an uprising. Let me show you a little bit of his video.
That's why Macaulay Culkin's website is titled Bunny Ears. That's why Macaulay Culkin's always walking around with bunny ears on his head. And that's why Macaulay Culkin was like possibly one of the biggest child actors to ever live. In movies like Home Alone, Uncle Buck. And this guy, as a kid, was rubbing shoulders, hanging out with Michael Jackson when he's 5 years old. I mean, obviously bizarre stuff. And again, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. I'm not, I know people go, we can't judge a book by its cover. All you got to do is look at Macaulay Culkin and listen to him talk, and you know what the guy is, okay? I'm not going to say it, but you know what the guy is. It's pretty obvious, right? And again, these people who go through the Hollywood system and their parents pimp them into it, this is what ends up happening. But I want to show you some things with Macaulay Culkin here. Starting with, somebody sent me this screenshot. Macaulay Culkin selling a t-shirt, Bapho Bunny. So he's got a satanic Baphomet t-shirt, but instead of the Baphomet, he's got a bunny, because that's his gimmick, right? Bunny ears, and nobody...
Okay, so, yeah, so that's the whole thing. Okay, so... See, like I said, he's saying about Michael Jackson and Macaulay Culkin, he's saying that Macaulay Culkin's parents pimped him into Hollywood and pimped him right out to Michael Jackson, the biggest sexual child predator out there, and Michael Jackson was sexually molesting him, and then he would have been putting him under mind controls and all that stuff, which leads to Macaulay Culkin showing up and showing that he's under the signs of devil worship and mind control and all of that stuff, right? That's his interpretation of what happened. Now, okay, Michael Jackson was a young child star, and he befriended another young child star, and when you would see in Michael Jackson's life, he also befriended other young child stars. You could say like Brooke Shields, who would have been a young one, or you could say Elizabeth Taylor if you don't know that she was a young child star. So it's kind of like one of those things where she would have been giving him guidance type of thing, right? She befriended him. Michael then did the same thing to befriending people like Brooke Shields, people like Macaulay Culkin. You could say somebody like another boy like Emmanuel Lewis, and Emmanuel Lewis was very small and younger, but he was actually an adult. He was some kind of dwarf miniaturism body. It wasn't that he was very young when you saw him. He was actually a lot older, so you can see that that's how their relationship, because if you ever hear Emmanuel Lewis speak when he was young and stuff, and he was in his little body, and you would hear him start speaking, it's like he spoke like an adult. He spoke well. It was funny. I like Emmanuel Lewis. He seems like a cool guy and stuff. Okay, but so the commonality between Michael Jackson, what I see is this young star entertainer thing, is something that Michael Jackson has shown that he had other entertainers give him guidance that way, and he is now giving guidance to these other people and stuff. Macaulay Culkin speaks about Michael Jackson as being one of his best friends, okay? These are things that they actually speak about. So then this is another video from A Call from an Uprising. And the thing is, he does a lot of videos that are related to my Michael Jackson story without him knowing that he's doing it. He's doing it, okay? And so I have to deal with these issues because these people push these stories, and the people come at me and they start coming at me saying, oh, this is my evidence that this kind of stuff. No, they're this and they're this. And they use these kind of videos to back them up. And that's why I have to deal with videos like this and people like this to show you the actual problem here with these people. It's their issue. They're the ones seeing it the way that they want to see it. So this is him now again.
Even hearing stories about his daughter, right, Paris Jackson, and oh, she's awake and she's woke up to the stuff going on. I mean, you can see Paris Jackson wearing a necklace with what on it? The Baphomet.
Okay, so there's Paris Jackson, of course, wearing a necklace with the Baphomet. Okay, so Paris Jackson, I'm saying, is actually the daughter of Macaulay Culkin. That Michael Jackson was such good friends with Macaulay Culkin, he wasn't having sex with him, but at some point, because that's when Michael Jackson was having kids, he had asked Macaulay, he had told him, hey, I need sperm donation so I can make these children. That's the kind of friendship I do believe that they had. And they're real friends. And I believe that Macaulay Culkin gave Michael Jackson a sperm donation in which he used to birth Paris Jackson, okay? And now, when you look between the similarities between Paris Jackson and Macaulay Culkin, you'll see that in her life, she, like with the Baphomet symbols and stuff, so that's the thing with her and Macaulay showing their similarities. This is her going to one of Macaulay Culkin's performances, his bunny ears, and she's wearing her bunny ears, you know? And then this is another photo with this is Paris and Macaulay Culkin. There she is again with her bunny ears. She's sitting on him. Now you people can take this in all kinds of different ways, but let's just take it. It's like, okay, well, if you're willing to look at it in all those kinds of ways, well, then you need to be able to look at it in the context that maybe he's her father. Okay? And now in that context, remember, she wouldn't have been raised knowing that he was her father. She was raised thinking Michael Jackson was her dad. But then what happened is Michael Jackson passed away, so at some point there, Macaulay would have had to come on his own and inform her. And so there would have been a thing there that he would have had to do that. He stepped up and informed her on his own, unless Michael would have left a secret letter to her to go investigate. You know, that's one of the things. I don't know how Michael would have done that exactly, you know. But somehow these two reunited. And you can see that they built this friendship. And when you just look at them, they resemble each other very much. Just look, because you can see Paris isn't wearing any, she's not wearing any makeup there. So look at this as like a daughter trying to take a picture with her father. You know, these are both famous people and stuff too. They're both in other relationships at this time. This is a friendship here. It's not sexual whatsoever. This is a friendship, and they're taking a photo. And look at the way they're showing their faces there. And she's got on the bunny ears. This is a daughter sitting on her father's lap, and they're taking a photo to commemorate themselves in history. This is actually what's taking place here. That's Macaulay Culkin's actually the sperm donor for Paris Jackson. And then another thing that they did, they went and got matching tattoos. So this is a photo of them right after they had gotten their tattoos. And yeah, so that's Macaulay Culkin and Paris Jackson got matching silver spoon tattoos on, you know, basically on the same location on their arm, pointing in the opposite direction like a yin-yang to show like they're connected. You know, it shows a lot of connections, and I can show more explanation of the stuff. But just a simple reality. See the commonality of Paris Jackson and Macaulay Culkin. They look similar. They act similar. They literally got matching tattoos. They have a friendship that's unique in its own way. See, here's Macaulay Culkin, you know, and there's Paris Jackson. So when he's wanting to see this as the crazy devil worship and all this stuff, it's like, it's just like an inside joke, and they show the commonality to like the connections through bands they like and things like that, and they make jokes about whatever they do. But they want to make this all crazy sexual, and it's like, where's the sex with Michael Jackson in his history? It's not there. So how are you instantly going to connect that to Macaulay Culkin? Maybe they had a friendship because of the commonality that they shared of the unique human experience of being a child star in this, you know. They had a friendship develop. Seems possible, right? Why does it have to be sex when you can't show me there's any sex with Michael Jackson? And then with there is a relationship going on with Paris and Macaulay, and people would say, oh, well, it's because Macaulay Culkin is her godfather. And it's like, well, I could say the same thing. This shows one of the things that's like, yeah, he is her godfather, but he's also the godfather, I know, to Prince and maybe to Blanket, BG, whatever. So maybe him too, I'm not sure, but for sure for Prince. But I don't see Macaulay Culkin developing a friendship with Prince, which it seems more common that he would have had a friendship with him that would have developed first, being the older boy. Seems like if it was just something like that where he's a godfather wanting to come in after Michael had died, seems like Macaulay would have developed that friendship with Prince first, you know? But that's not what happened. Macaulay Culkin developed a friendship with Paris. Okay, and it happens just as the same way in which Diana Ross developed a relationship with Michael Jackson outside of the family of the Jacksons. It was him that she was interested in because Michael Jackson was actually her lost love child that she had given away, and that was the connection they had towards each other. And it wasn't sexual. Just like people will look at Diana Ross and Michael Jackson and they see sex. They think from the very beginning when they're kids they see sexual. It's like they never understood. They never saw the connection. Just like when you see the Michael and Diana photographs, just look at them the way they are together. It's very similar to this. It's not sexual. It's more of what you see the reality. It's like the Michael and Diana, it's a mother and her lost son that she admires to the max because that's her love child of her first love, Smokey Robinson, who she totally admires. So when she looks at Michael Jackson, Diana Ross, that's her child that was created from her little one-night fling between her and Smokey. You know, she knows in her life, she knows if I didn't do that, then my life completely would have been different because then she wouldn't have had a child from Smokey. She would have never have been in a deal with Berry Gordy to give her child away. So does she ever have a music career? If she doesn't actually do that, then if she doesn't do that, there is no Michael Jackson. If there's no Michael Jackson, there is no Jackson family. The ramifications of what she actually did in that moment of having sex there, and it's a small moment that happened in a small period of time. If it didn't actually happen, it could have slipped away so easily, but it did happen. And because that moment happened, it spawned all of these things, which actually spawned to the point when we realized that Michael Jackson's not a Jackson and that they had pulled this big scam on the public. Then you can see the mind frame mentality of how Michael Jackson would think, well, I can pull a scam on the public too with my children. Might as well make them white so the kids have an easier life. That's actually exactly what he's thinking. And then he's saying for history, too, if people want to go and document it, a lot easier to document it when the kids are white for the people to prove that they're not my kids, you know? And then you can see the scam of how Michael pulled that scam, and you'll understand that that scam was pulled because the scam of what happened to Michael when he was a child. How did he learn to pull the scam that he pulled and be willing to pull that kind of scam on the public? Well, because that's his whole life that he had led. That's exactly the life he knew. But when you people don't know that the reality that that's who he is, then all these things look weird to you. Everything looks weird and it's unexplainable. And where does everybody go with these things that look weird and unexplainable? Oh, it must be sex and it must be Satan, when they can't just understand the simple realities that these are just people who had issues in their life and they had to deal with them. And these are the signs and these are the ramifications of what happened from these people dealing with their issues. And it's right there, right in our face. They put it right in your face, as plain and simple as can be. Hey, look at us, you know? If you can just get past looking at the sex thing, maybe you'll see something else and you'll see, you know what? Damn, she looks like Macaulay Culkin, I wonder if he's her dad.